1945. Dutch boys ride the freedom train after liberation from Germany. The war had ended. The Spanish Civil War, a conflict that tore the nation apart. Photographed between 1936 and 1939. A woman moving to another village takes with her the bones of her dead son. What could not be left behind? 1938. Spanish archaeologist Manuel Esteve wearing the Corinthian helmet he had just discovered, a relic from ancient times. Miss American Vampire Pageant 1970, a cultural moment captured in costume. 1910. The Titanic under construction, 2 full years before it set sail. Beale Street, Memphis, Tennessee, March 29, 1968. A civil rights protest, just days before Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination. 1860. A campaign poster for Abraham Lincoln, before serving as president from 1861 to 1865. 1947. Christian Dior debuted his new look collection, featuring ultra-long skirts. Many women saw the style as restrictive. Protests were held outside Dior's hotel. Times Square, August 15, 1945. Victory over Japan Day, the final ending to World War II. The celebrations were massive. Paris, 1880s. The Eiffel Tower under construction. A worker hangs off the structure with no harness, finishing touches being applied. 1979. Otto Frank shows Queen Juliana of the Netherlands the attic where his family hid during World War II on what would have been Anne Frank's 50th birthday. He was the only survivor. April 7, 1927. The first ever television broadcast in the United States. Walter Sherman Gifford, president of AT&T, watches Herbert Hoover on screen. Over 1,000 workers made it possible. Tasmania, Australia, 1933. One of the last known photos of a Tasmanian tiger. The species went extinct in 1936, largely due to hunting by European settlers. 1981. An early Apple computer. This model predates the Macintosh, 3 years before the computer that changed history. Sweetwater County, Wyoming, 1946. A young girl pushes her baby brother in a homemade buggy, made from a Hercules powder box. Le Bourget Airport, 1969. Concorde 001 prototype and a Citroën DS. A publicity shoot highlighting French technological and design ingenuity. Paris, 1910. The Great Flood. Streets turned into canals resembling Venice. 1957. Marilyn Monroe at the premiere of The Prince and the Showgirl. Sarajevo, June 27, 1914. Austrian Archduke Franz Ferdinand inspecting his troops during military maneuvers, 1 day before his assassination. Ambridge, Pennsylvania, 1938. A young girl stands amid piles of discarded boxes and barrels at a city dump. Children commonly scavenged for reusable items. Berlin, 1927. A barbershop sign announces special prices for the unemployed. A city of social contrasts in the aftermath of World War I. A wartime selfie from the 1940s. Personal moments documented amid conflict. 1917. German soldier Dominicus Muller in a hospital after losing his entire lower body on the Western Front. Border between the United States and Mexico, late 1920s. A line drawn across the land. North Carolina, 1934. A boy selling apples by a road during the Great Depression. Photographed by Bayard Wooten. 1955. A woman with a General Electric mainframe computer and a blackboard. The early age of computing. 1950s. A Frenchman reacting to trying Coca-Cola for the first time. February 8, 1943. Nazis hung 17-year-old Lepa Radic for being a Yugoslavian partisan during World War II. When asked the names of her companions, she replied, "You will know them when they come to avenge me." One of the earliest photos showing a Native American with a wolf. Unlike the myths created by settlers, Indians maintained a close and respectful relationship with wolves. New York City. Children on the street during hot weather. Boys shooting marbles on the sidewalk. New York. The public lines up outside the Sub-Treasury building, waiting to buy the new Lincoln cent. Paso del Norte, Mexico, circa 1905. A group of people gather on the sidewalk across from a church in Juarez, some seated on benches beneath a streetlight. St. Patrick's College, Ravenswood. The Queen of the May is seated under the pole. Her attendants kneel beside her. Schoolgirls dressed in pale Edwardian costume pose around her. USS Missouri, September 2nd, 1945. Japanese Foreign Minister Mamoru Shigemitsu signs the Instrument of Surrender. Lieutenant General Richard K. Sutherland watches from across the table. The war had ended. Guam, October 1st, 1944. 2 Japanese soldiers lie in the tangled undergrowth by troops of the U.S. Army's 77th Infantry Division. Tuong Duc, Vietnam. A Viet Cong prisoner awaits interrogation at the A-109 Special Forces Detachment. Vietnam. A member of the 1st Brigade, 5th Infantry Division takes down barbed wire tape, a modified form of perimeter security. Vietnam veterans throw their medals away in protest against the war. Unemployed men during the Great Depression, waiting in line for work that may not come. San Antonio, Texas. A Mexican boy eating lunch, a moment of daily life. German-occupied Lodz during World War II, recording surnames and personal data of Poles imprisoned by the German police in the Nazi camp. Rotterdam, October 11, 1941. A large Reichsarbeitsdienst-Tentoonstellung opens. Reichskommissaris Dr. A. Seyss-Inquart and Generalkommissaris Schmidt in attendance. Gusen concentration camp after liberation. What remained. Buchenwald, April 1945. In the crematorium courtyard, U.S. soldiers confront the citizens of Weimar with the corpses they found there. This was the first photo of Buchenwald to be published. It appeared in the London Times on April 18, 1945. Women in the barracks of the newly liberated Auschwitz concentration camp. Pictured on the far left, wearing a scarf, is Rivka Rukle-Kenchinska. Al-Magrun concentration camp, 1931. Distribution of soup. The camp held approximately 13,050 Libyan prisoners. Okinawa. Sick and wounded natives in a hospital set up by military government in Sobe. A mother bathing a child suffering from malnutrition. Goldfield, Nevada, circa 1900 to 1905. 3 miners wearing prospector outfits, standing next to a burro cart loaded with camp supplies. Goldfield, Nevada, circa 1905. A team of 12 horses hauling 3 wagons full of ore. Above, on a hill, are a mill and other mining facilities. Udlo, 1914. A group of workers attending to a derailed railway carriage. Port of Antwerp, 1964. Special cargo loading.
a mini-submarine bound for Nassau, Bahamas, tween-deck, hatch 3. Port Sudan, 1960. Dockers loading bagged cargo on MS Rothenstein, NDL. The dock workers carry 70-kilogram bags filled with oil cake.
Titanic's sea deck under construction before the ship set sail. April 10th, 1912. Captain Edward John Smith at the Titanic Bridge on the morning of departure. London, April 16th, 1912. Ned Parfitt, known as the Titanic paperboy, holding a large newspaper banner about the sinking, standing outside the White Star Line offices at Oceanic House on Cockspur Street, near Trafalgar Square. Gothenburg, early 1900s. A ward in the Children's Hospital at Angorden. Romanas Sanatorium. A patient in bed on the veranda outside of the hospital room. Fremantle Prison, 1909. The radiating exercise yard. Fremantle Prison, 1909. Entrance to the main courtyard. Ayalon Prison, Ramla. Nazi war criminal Adolf Eichmann walking in the yard of his cell. Sewing class. The first Bryant School was renamed Warrington in 1927. A different Bryant School opened next to this school in 1923. Vicinity of Lodz during World War II. Displacement of Polish civilians, including mothers and children, by the German occupiers. Funeral procession of Emperor Franz Joseph I, the Empire in mourning. Washington, D.C. Execution of the conspirators. Scaffold in use and crowd in the yard, seen from the roof of the arsenal. A mugshot of the criminal Pugsy Hurley, captured for record. U.S. border guard and Mexicans behind the border fence, a line drawn between nations. Seacliff, circa 1926. View of the psychiatric hospital. Men seated on benches above a playing field watching a game of cricket. Designed by Robert Lawson, photographed by Albert Percy Godber. India, victims of famine, a family struggling to survive. Lanzhou, China, famine victims at Zhongshan Bridge, the toll of starvation. Luverne, Minnesota, August 19, 1918. Amid anti-German sentiment during World War I, German-American farmer John Meents was taken from his home. Driven to the South Dakota border, masked locals whipped him, threatened to shoot him, and tarred and feathered him, forcing him to cross the border and threatening him if he returned. The Royal Navy during the First World War. The battleships of the Grand Fleet patrolling the North Sea. Morfettville Racecourse, August 29, 1914. Recruits of the 10th Infantry Battalion did basic training. Alexander W. L. McNeil enlisted at Morfettville in the AIF as a private. Marcelino Serna, most decorated veteran of World War I. Newcastle, Washington, circa 1885, the mining town. King County Courthouse courtroom, circa 1885, where justice was carried out. A rare picture of the Sokoists' politician and military leader, Purdil Khan. Nagasaki, August 9, 1945. Mushroom cloud above the city after atomic bombing, taken from the northwest. March 19, 1945. Aircraft carrier USS Franklin attacked during World War II. The ship engulfed in flames.